Hey everyone, welcome to Find Your Flow. I'm Natalie and today I'll be guiding you through a floor-based practice. So whatever your reason for practicing today, hop on your mat and I can't wait to meet you there. To begin our practice, we'll find a comfortable seat. I've lifted my hips up onto something a little higher, a yoga block, but you can use cushions, pillows. You can start in a chair, find whatever works for you. The legs can be extended, just make it work. And we're going to arrive here allowing the shoulders to soften away from the ears. As we sit up a little taller in the spine, just allow this conscious, lovely long line from the tailbone to the crown to grow. And as we close down our eyes, we'll just begin our practice by taking some conscious breaths in and out through our nose. And just being aware that we are actually breathing. It sounds silly, but we live most of our lives breathing to survive, but not to thrive. So big inhales through your nose, big exhales through your nose. Lots of love in, lots of love out. And then we'll consciously send our breath a little further down our torso towards our belly. So rather than being all up in the chest and the shoulders and our accessory muscles, we're going to send some love down to the diaphragm. Breathe a little more diaphragmatically to help soothe our nervous system. So as we start to breathe with a bit more attention in the belly, just placing the hands here and feeling what you feel beneath the palms. Inhale, feel the belly rise. Exhale, let it soften. We don't need to force or push our belly out here. Just start to open to this awareness in this space. And to settle and level off and balance out our nervous system even more, we'll find a balancing pranayama practice. So for this, we'll breathe in and out of our nose for 4 counts. And we'll do this for 4 breaths. So let's begin. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, belly rises. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, belly softens. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last breath. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, take a big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth completely, sigh it out. And wiggle your fingers and toes, fluttering your eyes open. We'll bring our hands down onto our knees and just invite some circles into the upper body and the torso. We really exaggerate these circles, so if they turn more into kind of squiggles, just enjoy this movement. This might be the first time we've woken up our spine like this in a long time. So just paying attention to whatever sensations arise. Let's get the head and neck involved, the shoulders. Get some oil to the joints, send your movement in the opposite direction. Notice what role your breath is playing in this movement. We're going to keep it as our foundation through our practice, wherever we are in terms of our asana. And as we come on back to center, nice tall neutral spine, we'll cross our right arm over our chest towards the left side. And then bringing that left hand onto the back of the arm, wherever falls most comfortably, as we take our gaze over to the right side. So keeping the shoulders soft, but keeping that length in the spine. Just find a couple of breaths here. And then floating your way back to center, crossing the left arm over to the right. Right hand comes to the back of the arm and gaze to that left side. Again, find a couple of breaths. Keep grounding down, really heavy through the lower body. Awesome. And as you float back to center, just give the shoulders a shrug up and down, round and round. And then we'll come to meet with our left leg extended. So if you were on a chair, make your way down to the ground now. Right leg hugs all the way up and in, foot comes to the earth to begin with, and we'll keep our left toes flexing up to our face, but journeying into a twist. So hugging our left arm around our right leg, and then swimming our right fingertips to the earth behind us. So keeping really light on the hands and exploring this twist through our rib cage so we can really get that juicy rotation through the thoracic. So rather than just hoisting the head and neck around, really think about where you're finding this twist from. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, maybe there's a bit more space to explore. Find one more breath here. And then as you float to center, we're going to turn that right knee out and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh or left leg. And making sure that we're facing towards the front of our mat. As we lift up, we'll hinge from our hips and begin to fold over our left leg. Now, being really mindful that we're not just collapsing forehead towards the knee. We're looking to keep this length all the way through the spine as the belly softens towards the thigh. Remember, it's always towards. We're just working towards a position. Don't worry if we don't get there now or ever. Find one more breath. And then slowly rise up. Nice. So we're going to keep the legs in the position that they're kind of in, this almost L shape, but make the position a little bit wider so that we're opening our chest towards the middle, this open space between both of our legs, almost the top right corner of the mat. From here, we'll send our left arm down our left leg and then reach our right hand all the way up and over towards the left leg. But we're looking to keep our heart space shining up towards the sky. So if we're rounding and collapsing forward here, that's just an invitation to not reach so far so that we can keep all of this length in our side body. And breathe a little more here into this right side. And then slowly rise all the way up. Nice, everybody. Just take both legs out long. Just take a moment to give them a little wiggle. Then we're going to find that same flow on the opposite side. So hugging the left leg up and in, foot to the ground first. Right leg extended and active as the toes lift up. Hug the right arm around the left leg. Swim the left arm around. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale to twist. Keep those big, nice belly breaths. So we're getting that double massaging for the internal organs here while we're twisting and breathing through our diaphragm. Really, really juicy movement for the body. And as you slowly float your way back to center, we're going to keep the legs where they are, but open that left knee out to the side. And make sure that we're folding forwards towards our front leg. We'll lift up tall and then hinge. Mindful of a bend in this right leg. We can keep it only a small bend. We can keep it a big bend. Whatever works for you. Breathe here. Nice. And slowly rising up. We're just going to find a bit more of a open position in the legs as we move into that lateral flexion for the spine. So just make sure you feel comfortable here. Send the right arm down, the right leg, wherever it falls, and float the left hand all the way up and over towards that right side. Lengthen through that side body space. Send your energy all the way to the fingertips here so the hand's not just hanging out and dropping down. Nice, and breathe here for a couple more full breaths. Nice and slow, rise up, unravel, legs out long, give them a wiggle. And if you are on some form of support, then just lift off it and take that to one side. Nice. We're going to keep the legs extended, reach the arms out in front as we slightly start to rock back, but only to our halfway point. So whatever your halfway point looks like, stay there. Creating a bit more of an awareness in the belly now, in the center, and this whole deep abdominal wall that takes up lots and lots of space in our torso, even spreading down to the psoas, the hip flexors. So my invitation for you here is to make sure you're breathing, is to soften the jaw, keep the heart space open, and then rise up and fold over both legs, keeping it soft in our Paschimottanasana. Nice. Then as you lift up, we're going to rock halfway down again. Shoulders soft, option to bring the palms together at the heart here. Awesome. Find 2 more breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose. When you're ready, rise up and fold forwards. Be sure to keep this nice release in the knees. And then when you're ready, rocking back into our halfway position. Nice. And from here, we can either stay where we are, or we can begin to bend the knees, bring the heels towards us, and lift the legs into our boat pose, Navasana. Now we have different versions of boat. We could be here, toes on the earth, here, shins lifted parallel, or here, maybe legs extended. Palms can be at the heart. We're just going to stay in our boat or in our version for 3 breaths. So remember, we might still be here. Just take what you need today and always. Breathe fully. And on your 3rd and final exhale, release. And scoop the legs all the way to one side. We're going to jump through to a tabletop all fours position. Spreading through the fingers as wide as we can. Really root down into each of the fingers, especially that thumb. Don't forget the thumb. And we'll tuck the toes under. We'll start to rock our weight back over the feet and then forward so the shoulders come over the fingertips. And we'll do this a couple more times. Just opening up through the feet, all of the muscles and the deep fascia in there. And through the hands, the wrists, the forearms a little, getting some love. Next time you come back over the feet, stay there. And just give your hips a little wiggle, sending the weight from one side to the other. And then as you jump forward, same thing here. Rock the weight from one hand to the other. Awesome. And as you come back to center, find your tabletop, untuck the toes and just tap the tops of the feet onto the mat. Be sure that we're pressing the palms away from the ground and finding that slight lift in the tummy so that we're not collapsing in the lower back. From here, journey into your cat pose, roll tailbone down, lift the spine and drop the gaze. And with your own breath, move through to cow, lift the tailbone, tummy rolls down, heart opens, gaze to the front of the mat. And moving here a few more times through your cat and cow, using your own breath, and feel free to veer off the train tracks. Have a little wiggle. Enjoy some organic movement in any way that feels good for you. Nice. Last time rolling through cat and cow. And eventually come to find that neutral spine, and we'll walk the knees back behind us. Walk the hands a little further forwards as we send our heart space down towards the ground in Anahata Asana, heart to earth pose. Let that forehead soften to the earth. If it doesn't reach, no worries. We can bring a prop underneath our forehead. If we want to find a little more here, we can lift our fingertips onto the mat and tent the palms. Big breaths here. Everybody plant the palms and rock straight forwards so that the thighs, hips and belly come to the earth. We'll find Sphinx Pose with our forearms planted, elbows underneath the shoulders, walk the feet a little wider, and as we press down into the lower arms, we'll shine our heart forward. Imagine we've got a beacon of light that we're trying to shine towards the front of our mat as bright as we can. And just be mindful that the head and neck stay an extension of the spine, so we're not dropping down, crunching up. Stay here for one more breath. And then send the right shoulder to center, gaze past your left. And as you send left shoulder to center, gaze past your right. And then coming all the way back. Release belly to the earth. Bring hands back by the rib cage. Really, really spread through the hands. We're going to press up and back into a child's pose. Find your version, knees wide or together. arms forward or arms back. We'll just spend one full breath here. And then lift up into our tabletop position. Coming to send some love to our hip space as we lift our right knee up and out to the side. So really mindful we're not straight away collapsing our weight into the left side. Keep pressing down through both palms. Begin to draw nice big circles through this right knee. And of course, whenever we're on our hands and knees, we can send a little extra padding underneath this space. So we might add a blanket or some bricks underneath the hands. Send your circle in the opposite direction. Really widen this and explore as big a range of motion as you can. Awesome. As we come back to center, we'll keep the right knee lifted, but this time, kick the heel up towards the sky behind us. Mindful that we're not collapsing down in our lower back. Keep this integrity in the torso as we kick our heel 2 inches up and then let it drop 2 inches. Pulsing here, a little bit up, a little bit down. Nice. This isn't a really big movement. We're not looking to move our whole body as we kick up and down. Keep the torso nice and strong. Awareness in this right leg in particular. Little lift, little lower. Nice. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. From here, curl the knee up toward the nose, round through the spine, and then step that right foot forward lightly. Give it as much of a helping hand as you need to. We're straight away going to turn our right toes out to 2 o'clock. And bring our hands to the inside of that foot. So right away we can find support by lifting a little higher onto some form of a prop. We can walk our left knee back a little further. Just make sure we're not on that uncomfortable part of the kneecap and find our lizard pose. But similarly, if we'd like to, we can come down onto our forearms. Just be mindful we're not collapsing here, so keeping this a nice active posture. Just spend one more full breath here. Then everybody, left hand on the ground. If you'd like to, lift onto that prop that you have. And as you inhale, reach right fingertips all the way to the sky. Nice twist. Exhale to release. We'll do that 2 more times. Option to tuck the knees and lift. Tuck the toes and lift the back knee if you'd like to. Nice. Wherever you are, one more full breath. Open and release. Lovely. Planting the palms. We're going to come straight back to our tabletop. Wiggle through the hips. Shake it out. Find that same flow on the opposite side. So come back to your sturdy tabletop and lift that left leg out to the side. Begin to draw big circles in one direction. And there might be one side that feels a little different to the other, and that's okay. We're just going to keep paying attention. Send your circle in the opposite direction. Trust your breath wherever you are. Awesome. And as you come on back to center, keep the left knee lifted. We're going to kick that heel to the sky, mindful that we're still hugging in the torso as we lift 2 inches and lower 2 inches. That pulse here, up and down, not a very big movement. Keep the palms pressing away into the earth so we're staying lifted out of the shoulder joint. Nice. You might be feeling it in those glutes by now. I know that I am. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! Hug knee toward the nose and lightly step it forwards. Awesome. Turn those front toes out to 10 o'clock. Option to lift a little higher or come a little lower. Make this lizard pose work for you. We'll just stay in our static lizard for one more breath. And then come to plant that right palm. Don't worry if you don't have a prop. As we inhale, reach the left hand all the way up to the sky. Exhale to release 2 more times. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. Last breath. Open up, really find space. Keep the lower body where it is. And release. Planting the palms. Step all the way back to your tabletop. Wiggle through the hips. Get some love and movement to this space. And then sitting into your version of a child's pose. We'll just find a couple of breaths in child's pose. Slowly lifting up, scooping the legs to one side. And jumping through towards the middle of your mat. As we reach our fingertips out in front, this time we'll keep a bend in the knees as we very slightly tuck chin towards the chest and start to roll super slow all the way down to the ground. Nice. And whenever you arrive there, take your time. We're going to hug the knees up and in towards the chest. Take a gentle rock from side to side. Really snuggle that lower back space to the earth. And as you float to center, plant both feet nice and wide. Hands to the belly, windscreen wiper the knees from side to side. And there's absolutely no rush here. Take these at your own pace. You might want to slow them down even more. Nice. Coming one more time to each side, even it out. And then come to float your way back to center. And either stay here with this bend in the knees or let the legs extend. Take up lots of space in the upper body. Let the arms just rest wherever they feel most comfortable. And close down your eyes in preparation for our final and most precious posture. Now, if we have the time, I encourage you to stay here a little longer. Just send this love and attention to your nervous system. But together we'll just spend a couple of minutes here, allowing our awareness to be on our breath and generally on how we feel right now. How often throughout your day do you check up on yourself? But know that however you're feeling now is okay. We don't need to already feel a certain way in order to come to our yoga practice. Our practice helps us to learn to accept however we're feeling, but also recognize how that feeling will change at some point as it continues through the ebbs and flows of life. Finding one more big breath here. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Take a moment to thank yourself for being here, for dedicating this time to your practice. With all my love and my heart, I thank you, bringing palms together at the heart. Namaste.